Hey everybody, glad you stopped by SmokinSteve's today. We got a good one for you today. We're going to be cooking up a beef bottom round roast, and we're going to cook it up like a brisket. Everybody loves brisket, and in the past I've done chuck roast like a brisket, and they've always turned out better than a brisket. The neighbor watched one of my videos on the chuck roast, and he decided to fix a brisket and a chuck roast side by side, and he had people over, guests over to eat, and they all liked the chuck roast better. And guys, you don't have to buy the big old piece of meat when you do a chuck roast or a bottom round or whatever. You can just get a little piece of meat, and you don't have to spend a fortune to get it. This little guy here is a little under 2 pounds, so there's not a lot of trimming involved, and cooking time is a whole lot less. I'm figuring about maybe 2 hours per pound on this, so we'll have to see how it comes out. But we're going to get this guy prepped up now and put it in our fridge and leave it in there for about 24 hours, and then we're going to be cooking her up on the RecTeq Bullseye, little pellet grill I got. And we'll be using Bear Mountain pellets, bold flavor. I just love Bear Mountain pellets, guys. But we're gonna get this guy all prepped up now and get him ready to go, and we'll show you what we're gonna do step by step. Okay guys, here's what we're using for our brisket today. USDA choice bottom round roast beef, and we picked this up at the market for $3.99 a pound. Had a card for we picked it up for $7.82. So that's quite a buy. At today's prices, we're lucky to find that. And it's a lot better than buying a whole big old piece of brisket and cooking that up. That's a big old hunk of meat and costs a lot of money, and this is a lot cheaper. So we're going with the bottom round roast beef today, and we're going to turn this guy into a brisket. Okay guys, here she is, looking pretty good. What we're going to do is start out by putting some kosher salt on this. We're going to put quite a bit on here. What this kosher salt does is brings the moisture to the surface of the meat and grabs that salt and pulls that down into the meat. Makes that meat moist, breaks down that muscle fiber and all the tissues in there, and makes this meat a lot more tender. Now, you're not going to taste all this salt. It's just to make this meat a little more tender and help break down all those fibers. Okay, once we get that on there, we're going to go ahead and put a little coat of mustard on there. We're going to use this mustard as a binder for seasoning in our rub. Now, we're going to put if you don't like mustard, that's not going to be an issue because you really don't taste the mustard. So it's pretty surprising, and this will help form the bark. Just want to rub that around a little bit. Get a nice coat on there. You don't have to get crazy with it. Yeah, you'd think you'd taste this mustard on here, but you won't even know it's been used on here. Okay, I'm going to go with a little more kosher salt. I'm okay. I'm gonna rinse these hands off. Then we're gonna start putting our seasoning on there. And what we're gonna be using is one of my favorites, Montreal steak seasoning. I love this stuff on beef, vegetables, potatoes, just everything. It's good on everything. So we're going to put a nice coat of this on there. Now we don't want to get it so thick on there where the smoke won't penetrate the meat. So we got our Montreal seasoning on this side, and now we're going to follow that up with some Traeger coffee rub. I love the combination of the two. Put a light coat of this on there. And we're going to flip her over and do the same thing on the other side. And comes the Montreal steak seasoning. Coffee rub. And I almost forgot I was going to add a little more pepper to this. Rinse my hands off again. I love that pepper flavor on brisket. So I just got a little grinder here, and we're going to grind up a little extra pepper and put on there. And what we're going to do, let me rinse my hand off again. What we're going to do, get this all coated up here. Then we're going to put some saran wrap over the top of it and put it in the fridge. Let it sit in there for about, well, it'll be in there for about 24 hours. Then we're going to get that smoker fired up tomorrow morning and get this guy to smoking. So I'm going to get it wrapped up, get it in the fridge, and we'll get back at it in the morning. Okay guys, I got that beef roast pulled out of the fridge. It's been in there all night, about 24 hours all total, and I got it pulled out. It's really looking good and it's really smelling good. But I got that RecTeq Bullseye fired up and it's heating up, and once it gets up to 225, we're going to be throwing this beef roast on there and letting it smoke. And we're going to be using Bear Mountain bold flavored pellets. You can't go wrong with Bear Mountain, guys. I've tried several of their flavors. They probably got 13, 15, maybe up to 20 flavors. They got a flavor for you if you want, and I'll have links in the description section underneath the video if you want to check them out, along with a lot of my other favorite stuff. So be sure to check those out. You might find something you want to pick up or whatever. But let's let that grill finish getting heated up, and then we'll go ahead and put this roast on there, and we're going to smoke it up like a brisket, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, we got it on the grill now, and we got a little drip pan underneath it. There's no water in it or anything, just to catch some of the dripping so we don't make a big mess. But we're going to get this guy all closed up and kick back and let her smoke. And I do have a temperature probe stuck in it to monitor the temperature, and we'll be checking on it. Okay guys, it's just been on here about a half hour, but hopefully you can see that smoke on your monitor there. We're getting quite a bit of smoke, which is good, and that meat temperature is only 71 degrees. I don't know whether you can pick that up on the digital display or not, but it's about 71. So we're just going to kick back, have a little coffee, and enjoy the day and let her smoke. Okay, the beef roast has been on there for about 3 hours now. I'm going to go check on it That temperature is up to about 155, and we're going to go ahead and get that thing pulled inside and get it wrapped up. But first I want to check on that bark, make sure that bark is looking good. If not, we'll just leave it on the grill and let it smoke some more before we wrap it. So I'm going to go check on it, and if it's looking good, we're going to get her pulled inside here, wrap it up, and get things going. Okay, I brought that beef roast inside here. It's getting a nice little bark on it, as I like to call it, meat candy. And what we're going to do is wrap this guy up. We're about at the stall stage, and that stall can last an hour, or it could last 2 hours, or even longer. So this helps speed up the process. But when you wrap it, you're sacrificing a little bark, but it helps keep the moisture in. So what we're going to do is add a little beef broth, and actually this is made from better than bouillon. It's a mix, and we're just going to pour that over the top here, add a little more moisture. Then we're going to wrap that up. I got 2 layers of foil here. You want to wrap it up tight. Because we're not wanting to steam the meat. We're just wanting to get it sealed up so it'll maintain the heat and make that meat a little more moist. A little bit of liquid got away from us here and got on the countertop. We'll get that cleaned up. Got her all wrapped up nice and tight. So we're going to get her back on the grill and let her smoke. Okay guys, that beef roast has been on there about 5 hours now. A little longer than maybe what I thought, but it's been on there about 5 hours. That temperature's up to 195. Still wrapped in the foil. We're going to go ahead and check it out, and if that bark looks good, we're going to bring it on in, let it rest for about a half hour, and if I want to redo that bark a little bit, maybe get a little bit crispier, I'll unwrap it out of the foil and let it smoke for another half hour or so and dry that bark out a little bit more. But I'm going to go check it out and see what it looks like, and I'll either be bringing it in and letting it rest, or another half hour of cooking time unwrapped. So I'm going to go check it out. Okay guys, here it is. I wish you could smell this. It's really smelling good. Looks like it's going to be nice and juicy. And we're going to get this guy cut up. I got my favorite knife here, a Rapala knife. All stainless. I love this little knife. I'll have a link for this in the description underneath the video too, if you want to pick one of these up. But we're going to go ahead and cut into this guy, see what she looks like. We're going to cut him right in the middle here. Look at that. You see that? See those juices? Whoops. Look at this. I don't know whether you can see those, how moist that is or not. Look at that smoke ring around there. This is really looking good. Looks like it's going to pull apart good. I can't wait to do a taste test on this. So let's go ahead and start cutting this up. Now you want to get it cut up. I like to cut it up in about pencil size or less. Look at this. This is looking awesome. Smelling good. All that moisture. I don't know whether the camera's picking all that up or not, but it's really looking good. I think what I'm going to do, I can't stand it any longer. I'm going to go ahead and cut me off a little piece. Do a taste test. And see what it's like. Oh, wow. Before we go in for the taste test, I wanted to show you this. That's pull apart good. Pull apart good. We're going in. Nice. It's tasting like brisket. Nice and moist. It's tender. Great flavor. So guys, you don't need to cook that big old piece of brisket. Just get you a chuck roast, a bottom round, beef roast. It's just as good, if not better, and a whole lot cheaper, and you don't have a whole lot of meat. Oh wow, got that pepper coming through. That's really good. That flavoring's awesome. So guys, I'm gonna finish getting this cut up. Have a little lunch, or a lot of lunch. I want to thank everybody for watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. And I hope to see you on the next one.